Hi everybody, it's David Fleming here from the Toronto Realty blog, and I wanted to talk today about undervalued areas. I get asked all the time, what are the next up-and-coming areas in Toronto? It's usually by the media, somebody trying to work on a story, sometimes it's by a client, and I say unfortunately there are no up-and-coming areas. Every area in Toronto has already up and came. Now there are areas I do think have massive appreciation potential, and one of those, ladies and gentlemen, if you can guess where I am in Parkdale. Now when you hear the words Parkdale, there's a negative connotation, just like there used to be in Regent Park. Now Regent Park, as we know, has been completely transformed, and yet the stigma remains. But Parkdale, the stigma is still there. And I was doing a video on another street. I just talked to a nice gentleman who's renovating. He looked like a guy that you would think would live in Bloor West Village or Forest Hill or something like that. And he said they moved into this area partly for the street, for the architecture, love the house, and of course love the price. Now, if you look at the size of some of these houses, these are detached 3 stories. These are Edwardian. These are massive. And at some point, ladies and gentlemen, people are going to have to see the value here, if they haven't already. Now, Parkdale, as you may or may not know, this was a village incorporated, I think, in 1879, if my Wikipedia memory serves me correctly. Now, Parkdale used to be home to the city's elite, and you could literally walk from here right down to the Lake Ontario. Now, of course, with the Gardiner Expressway coming along in the 1950s, it completely chopped the area in half, and they tore down a ton of homes to make room for the Gardiner Expressway. And eventually what you had is you had this. You had apartment buildings built. So you had apartment buildings that were built in place of a lot of these beautiful old homes. And what you're seeing here is, in my opinion, a revitalization, I should say, of the area. The existing homes, people are starting to build, they're starting to see the value here, and I think there's a fantastic appreciation potential for these houses. Because where in the world are you going to get, where in Toronto are you going to get this size, this style, for this price point? So you're still going to have to deal with, I guess, apartment buildings or, the odd rooming house. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of blog comments from people that say, okay, great, you've got beautiful houses on one side and you've got apartment buildings on the other. But ladies and gentlemen, the size, just the sheer size and style of some of these detached 3-story Edwardians, I just cannot possibly get over the value proposition of what I think is going to appreciate massively over the next few years.